Ceremony will begin momentarily. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices at this time.
Good to see you too.
Other than an image on a screen.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your help. Hey, ma'am.
Oh.
On behalf of the Vice Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force, General Stephen Wilson, welcome to today's ceremony honoring Brigadier General Michele Edmondson as she is promoted to Major General. My name is Cadet Aramis Brown.
And I'm Senior Master Sergeant Emily Price, and we'll be your MCs this afternoon. To assist in everyone's participation, military members in the audience are reminded to stand at attention during the playing of honors and the national anthem. During the national anthem, all citizens of the United States and military members not in uniform are asked to face the flag and place their right hand over their heart.
We would like to recognize our honored guests attending today's ceremony in person and online. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. General Edmondson's spouse, Dave McGowan, and their children, Callahan and Jacqueline. Joining us virtually, her father, Colonel Michael Edmondson, United States Air Force retired. Her friend, Colonel Bill Krimmel, United States Air Force retired, and his spouse, B. Her friend, Colonel Richard Couch, United States Air Force retired, and his spouse, Ann. Her friend, Major Bethany Herring.
USAFA Superintendent, Lieutenant General J. Silveria and his spouse, Virginia. Dean of the Faculty, Brigadier General Latundra and her spouse, Greg. Executive Director of Athletics, Ms. Jen Block. Director of Staff, Ms. Gail Colvin. Commander, 10th Air Base Wing, Colonel Brian Hartless and his spouse, Erin. USAFA Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Sarah Sparks.
Command Chief, Commandant of Cadets, Chief Master Sergeant Rob Johnson. General Steve Lorenz, United States Air Force retired. Lieutenant General Chris Miller, United States Air Force retired. Although time does not permit us to mention all guests, we would like to extend a warm welcome to all commanders, family, and friends attending today's ceremony, both in person and virtually.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of honors, the singing of the national anthem by Cadet Maya Thorson, and the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Today's invocation will be given by Cadet First Class Teresa Kozak.
For those who desire to do so, I invite you to join me in prayer. God of all goodness and understanding, we ask your blessing upon those gathered here today. Bless General Edmondson, her family and loved ones, all members of the USAFA community, AOCs, AMTs, cadets, faculty, coaches, graduates, and all those whose dedication and commitment make this institution so extraordinary. We thank you for your benevolence and your mercy. Thank you for this opportunity to gather together in celebration, even in the midst of a global pandemic. Our faith has been tested in these uncertain times, Lord, and so we ask for a renewal of faith, that we may be strengthened as we continue in your service. Strengthen General Edmondson as she continues throughout her career, and grant her fortitude in both her current and future roles. Protect all those in harm's way, O Lord, and lead them swiftly to safety. Provide comfort to the suffering and health to the sick. We entrust those here and all who are dear to them into your loving care. Watch over and guide them, Lord, that they may continue to serve and defend this great nation. Amen.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our presiding officer, General Stephen Wilson, will now come forward to make some remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Howdy. How about a round of applause for Cadet Thorson on that amazing national anthem. She is obviously incredibly talented. So Dave, Jack, and Cal, it seems just not too long ago that we were doing this in the Pentagon, Michele's first star. It's great to see you all again. General Silveria and Beverly, I'm surprised. We're talking about right in the middle of the move, right? God bless you guys. Thanks you for joining us today. And I see some old General Lorenz, great seeing you. General Chris Miller, fantastic seeing you. I know, great seeing you and the team, and Jen here for taking care of us. Thank you for joining us. And for those out in the audience, I think we have a worldwide audience. We literally have people from Italy, the United Kingdom, all across America, Wright Pat, San Antonio, Maxwell Air Force Base, and other bunch of places beaming in today. Thanks for joining. And to the cadets here, I'm not sure you had much of a choice, but thank you for joining us also. And I want to tell you, hey, I know how you feel. You see, I spent a year with General Edmondson when she worked for me, and she got to tell me where to go every day and what to wear. And before he walked in here, she looked at my uniform to make sure I was squared away. So I do get it. Okay, I really do get it. Seriously, though, I want to also tell you that we talk a lot about this as senior leaders, that we have no greater responsibility, no bigger job than to grooming our replacements. To build the future leaders that will guide our airmen into what is, I can tell, will be the most dynamic and the most competitive landscape our nation has ever seen. To build the airmen that our nation deserves. To build you, our replacements. And I'd say it all starts right here. And it starts right here under leadership of General Edmondson. And while we've had some incredible, incredible leaders here in this storied institution, leaders like Chief 20, General Welsh, General Lorenz, Lieutenant General Clark, I contend USAFA has been blessed to have no finer commandant than General Edmondson. None. So I'm really honored to be part of this celebration here today. As I see it, I have three key jobs. First, I have to slow things down for just a second. I'm sure General Edmondson has not taken a breath in the last couple of years, arguably in the last couple of decades. So, Emmy, this is your chance. Take a rare moment. You can close your eyes, put away the cell phone. You're out of reach of your exec, and just take a moment to take this all in. It's a pretty special day for the Air Force, and you deserve this. And I think you're going to go to a happy place, so in the next couple of moments anyway, because the second thing I have to do is brag about you a little bit and the things that got you here and why you're so deserving of this promotion. And third, I want to talk about the folks, Emmy would say, that made all of this possible, her family. And I think it's probably appropriate that we start there with the family. I know her dad, Dave, would have loved to have been here and was trying like heck to get here. But between weather and planes breaking, he's hopefully joining in via the Zoom or chat that we got going on now. But her dad is a retired Air Force colonel who flew combat in Vietnam, a test pilot who's flown just about every airplane in our inventory and then went on to fly in the airliners. So he's no stranger to our business, and I can tell you, you ought to be incredibly proud of your daughter, and I know you are, and we all are. And I'm also really great to see the couches over here. They're kind of Michelle's second family, and they've been taking great care of Michele and Dave as they've moved around the country, and I know it's great to have you here joining us today. I think in the VTC, we've got Aunt Kirk and Uncle Hobday dialed in. We've got our brother Mike and his wife Camber also online as well. Michelle's younger brother Eric didn't make it. He didn't quite see the light. He went to that other service called the United States Navy, and he's on a ship somewhere in the middle of the Pacific. But not to worry, his wife is dialed in. So Diana, thanks for joining us today. And hopefully you can get some footage of this amazing place and then rub in what a special place our Air Force Academy is. But I contend the real stars here today are sitting right there in the front row. That's Dave, Jack, and Cal. Let me spend a moment talking about them. So Dave served in his own right, first in uniform, and now he's working out in history, helping build some amazing things for our Air Force that'll go on to help us for generations to come as he works with Northrop. Our nation owes you a debt of gratitude, Dave. But we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the job that you do that you don't ever get paid for, and one that makes days like today possible. And your support over ME to keep the trains on the track and rolling along, right, is what's made all this possible. From running kids day to day, from practice to practice, from breakfast, lunches, and dinners, to being there for them all, Emmy's the first to say that this life and her life would not be possible without you in it. So we can't thank you enough. Then, of course, there's Jack. And if you notice, she's wearing her Harry Potter dress. And I would tell you, your mom is so incredibly proud of you. She tells us and brags about you all the time about what a great student you are. You're a straight A student, a really good gymnast, and pretty great at soccer too. And she lights up when she talks about you when you go horseback riding on your horse Kip. And she talks about you being fearless, and again, and how proud she is of you. But even more, she talks about you being the shining example in her life, that you're always smiling, you're always happy, and you're always the optimist. And your infectious spirit kind of uplifts the whole house, and it makes her energized to do the things that she has to do every day to get back to the job because you're there. You're a wonderful, wonderful young daughter. And finally, Cal, your mom would say, you are the spot-on clone of her. And I'd say, God help us all, right? Focused, fiercely determined, stops at nothing, will tackle any problem. You're a straight A student. Of course, we'd expect that. You're also the uber athlete. You're doing both JV soccer and basketball. In this last year, you lettered on the varsity football team as a kicker, as a freshman. And when COVID threatened the season, he picked up golf just because it would be a fun thing to do. And now he's number 2 on the varsity golf team and shot a 79 at age 15, about 20 strokes better than me. So, dude, leave a little something for me, would you? Come on. Anyway, so this whole family success is incredible by any measure, but it's even more important when you consider all the disruption that goes on in being part of a military family. To support Emmy, they've moved 11 times. Jack, who entered 5th grade, has already changed school 4 times. Cal is now in his 8th school. And yet there's nothing but success after success in this family. So to Dave, to Jack and Cal, you're every bit the airman your mom is. And she wouldn't be standing on this stage without your love and support. And we can't thank you enough. And you all get a big round of applause today. Now, General Edmondson didn't take your support for granted. She matched your sacrifices with equal measures of her own. And for the folks who might have been there when I promoted her a 1-star, here's what I said. I told the folks that a lot of people look good on paper, but few are as good in person. But I told the crowd, she really is that good. I told them that nobody knows space like Michele does, and that she was the best space instructor we had in our Air Force. And then when she was the commander, her squadron tracked 170 missile launches that safeguarded America's forces. I reminded them all of the incredible work that you did to rebuild our basic military training at Lackland Air Force Base and how that restored the trust of the nation in our Air Force. And I told everyone how much you did for the community at Biloxi, Mississippi, and how the mayor came up for your 1-star pin-on, and how that mayor named a day in the honor of Michele down in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I told everyone you were ready to bear the responsibility that comes with wearing that star. And you proved me right. As a freshly minted 1-star, you left what I contend was the hardest job in the Air Force. And yes, that was working for me. And you traded that office for a small 18-acre place called the White House and working for the National Security Council staff. And there you had the responsibility to serve as the President's principal advisor for space. And you did so, arguably, on one of the most transformative times for space in our nation's history. You know, Winston Churchill has got a great quote. It goes something like this. To each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do something very special. unique to them and fitted to their talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which would have been their finest hour. Well, Emmy, your moment would find you neither unprepared nor unqualified. Indeed, I'd say she was exactly the right person for this critical time in our nation's history. I tell a lot of people this, but to fight and win against a peer competitor, you have to win in space. If we lose in space, we lose. Period. End of story. Emmy was committed to make sure that never happened. She forged alignment across the entire government on space. She was the architect behind the stand-up of U.S. Space Command. Heck, she even drove Vice President Pence's plan to return to the moon. But the most consequential thing she did was serving as a fierce advocate within the White House, and she ensured that the Department of the Air Force got the Space Force we wanted, and more importantly, the Space Force that our nation needs. And this could have very easily gone in a completely different direction, and that it didn't is a testament to Emmy's ability to build relationships and trust and to deliver real results. So when it came time to select the next commandant at USAFA, fate would once again tap Emmy on the shoulder and say she was the obvious choice. Because I contend she'd been groomed for her entire life for this job. And once again, this moment in history found Emmy ready. This generation, your generation, will be the first in decades to face a peer competitor. And Emmy really gets that. Emmy, when you arrived here last year, you said that you wanted to ensure that the cadets were not only up to the task, but ready to outpace, outthink, and outperform our adversaries in whatever mission they were called to take on. And I contend you have done exactly that, and more under arguably the most incredibly challenging conditions that we could throw on anybody or any institution. You've driven your entire team to embrace innovation as a pathway to building the future. You've turned a 4-degree development program into a 4-year leadership journey. You've infused dignity and respect into basic cadet training to build future leaders who can motivate, inspire, and create an environment where all cadets can thrive. And you've done all of this in the midst of a global pandemic that has put unimaginable stress on this institution and on our whole nation. I know that you'd be the first to remind me that none of that credit goes to you and that all of it goes to the team. You tell me about how this would not have been possible without your amazing AOCs and your AMTs that every day work tirelessly to balance meeting our nation's mission with caring for the most important resource we have, our cadets. You tell me about how just 5 outstanding MTIs would have such an unimaginable impact on 4,400 cadets. Or you tell me about the resiliency and the commitment of the Cadet Corps who continue to inspire you and countless around this nation. Emmy, I contend the eyes of the entire Air Force, actually the eyes of the entire nation, are looking at USAFA as a model of how to thrive through challenges and how to do it right. And for that, I'd say, job incredibly well done. So in closing, Emmy, let me thank you for letting me share this special day with you and your family. Each year we have the opportunity to promote 25 officers to 2-star general. There are 87 2-star generals across the entire Department of the Air Force. For perspective, that puts you at the 0.00001% of the 700,000 airmen that make up our Air Force. It's an incredibly high bar, and I contend the Air Force got this one exactly right. And while you may have met your last promotion board, I have no doubt that you will continue to see many more stars in your future. To Dave, to Jack, and to Cal, again, thank you, and to the whole family here, and to all that have been part of helping make Michele a success. And to you, Michele, congratulations on a promotion. Very, very well deserved. So let me stop talking, and let's promote the Air Force's newest two-star general. Thank you.
Thank you, General Wilson. General Edmondson, please join General Wilson on stage for the publishing of the promotion order.
Publish the order.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the publishing of the promotion order.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Brigadier General Michele Edmondson. In view of these special qualities and her demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Brigadier General Michele Edmondson is authorized to assume the grade of Major General, United States Air Force, effective 2 September 2020, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force.
Thank you, General Wilson, and congratulations, Major General Edmondson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
At this time, special friends and family members have a message for Major General Edmondson. Please join us as we direct our attention to the projection screens.
Wait, is this on? I'm not sure. What do you think? Is it on? Is there supposed to be light?
I am not a calm person.
Oh, come on. I think that's it. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, you ready? Okay.
Major General Edmondson, we are so happy for you in this enormous milestone in your career.
Congratulations to you and the entire crew. Dave and Jack and Cal, today would not have been possible without your support. Oh, and I'm so excited. We cannot wait to see your stars. It's going to be so awesome.
We wish we could be there with you today, but we send our hugs and wishes for a grand day.
Oh, and by the way, since Andy and I have been here the longest, I think we're going to move into this end office. I think it suits us. Anyway,
congratulations.
Hey boss, congratulations on being promoted to Major General. I could not be happier for you, Dave, and the kids. Unfortunately, due to our current situations, we could not be there with you, but we're there with you in spirit and in thought. Looking back, working for you on staff was probably one of the greatest experiences I've had in the Air Force so far. I still use a lot of the principles that you had as a wing commander. I apply them to every day here at the schoolhouse, which is taking care of airmen, what right looks like, and of course how to travel through airport security. Again, congratulations. Continue to being the greatest of all time. I look forward to when our roads cross again. And I wish you, your family, nothing but the best.
It's your favorite triplets, Big Dog, Little Dog, and whatever Sarah's nickname is. Sorry about the puppy. We just want to say huge congratulations, and we're sorry that we can't be there in person, but we are so grateful to have been a part of your journey and for you to have been a part of ours and for all the impact you had on us, both as cadets, people, future officers, all that good stuff. But we just wanted to say a huge, huge congratulations. We hope someone there is keeping you as entertained as we hope that we did when we were there, or at the very least, eating as much as Jess did. So, congrats again.
Man, I just want to say thank you for everything you did for me over BCT. It really taught me a lot about myself and leadership. So I really appreciate that. I just want to say congrats.
Yeah, ma'am, congrats. Thank you so much for everything you did for me, especially with recognition. I'm still so grateful for that opportunity, and we miss you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you for being a champion for everything that's good about our Air Force. In 10 years, I haven't encountered anyone who takes care of people the way you do. You have set the example for leadership, and I couldn't be more grateful to have you as a mentor and a friend. Sam and the girls and I are so proud of you, and no one deserves it more. Congratulations.
Hey ma'am, congratulations on your promotion. Also, I just want to say thank you for being an inspiration and a role model to me, as well as the men and women across our Air Force. I'm so happy for you and your family, and I hope to celebrate with you soon.
Hi ma'am, congratulations on your promotion. I am so unbelievably happy for you and your family. I'm so proud of you and so thankful that the Air Force has continued to recognize what an amazing leader you are. You have inspired so many of us, and you have motivated so many of us, and I just don't even know if you recognize the reach that you've had. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done for me, for Matt and our family. I wish you nothing but the best. I love you and I miss you, and congratulations again.
Hey, General Reed, this is Vegas. When I heard about you getting that second star, I was so elated and happy for you. I can't think of any better general in the United States Air Force who was made to lead airmen. And you're in the right position doing the right stuff. I wish I could be there. Sorry I didn't get a chance to get out there, but the CV-19 has gotten a hold on the whole world, as you can tell. But I'll be rooting you on YouTube. Best wishes as you and Dave continue to embark on these great journeys. And best to the kids. Congratulations. Enjoy this. We're waiting on the next star. I will be there for that third star. But have a great day and enjoy your promotion.
Hey, Michelle. Congratulations on your promotion to Major General. Mary, the kids, and I wish you the best of success as you continue to lead the cadet wing through this COVID crisis. We know that our son, as well as many others, are in great hands with you, and we hope to see you all in the future. Again, congratulations and best of luck. Take care.
Michelle, it's Janine. I want to congratulate you on this well-earned promotion. I wish I could be there. You have done an amazing job of balancing mission and people, always putting people first, the airmen and their families. You take this to heart. You are a wonderful example to many of us out there. And so I thank you for being a friend, a trusted agent. Team Ryder congratulates you, Dave, Cal, and Jack on this great accomplishment. I realize that it is truly a team effort, and I look forward to when we can celebrate together.
Hi, General Edmondson. This is Mark Brown from the Department of Education here in the Office of Federal Student Aid. Today's your special day. Today you're going to pin on that second star. And I got to admit, I was a little bit emotional when I first got your note, because I remember Colonel Edmondson. I remember you staying late for basic military training. I remember you taking on the hard questions. I remember you leading at Keesler. And I remember you taking your family, wrapping them up, and going to DC to do that same leadership in the Pentagon. Now, what's happening today, I must tell you, it's no surprise to me. I knew then that you were going to have multiple stars on your shoulders. You're going to be a leader in the United States Air Force. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. And so out of uniform, let me just tell you that I'm still your airman. I'm still your wingman. I'll follow you anywhere. And I am so proud of your accomplishments that you're going to have those 2 stars pinned on today. Congratulations to you and your family. God bless you and Godspeed.
Congratulations, Mom. We're proud of you.
Congratulations, Mommy. We love you so much.
I won't pause too long, ma'am. The pinning portion of today's ceremony is a tradition which highlights the significance of the first time a higher rank is placed on the uniform. The star is the oldest continually used rank in the United States military. The use of the star to signify the rank of a general officer can be traced to June 1780 decree by General George Washington during the War of American Independence. It is believed that General Washington chose the star as the symbol of general officer rank in honor of its use in the Allied French Armed Forces.
Brigadier General Edmondson brings her own history to this special tradition. As the 29th Commandant of Cadets, she is only the 4th general officer to attain the rank of Major General while serving in this position. At the end of her command tour, she will be the longest serving Major General in the history of the position. This historic moment is a testament to her steady command of the Air Force Academy Cadet Wing and the might of her leadership and vision. It is customary for the promotee to have family members or close friends participate to recognize their contributions to the promotee's success in achieving the higher rank. Dave, Cal, and Jack, please join General Edmondson to help pin on the new rank.
I'm going to give you this one. Jackie, I'm going to give you this one. Awesome.
Thank you, Dave, Cal, and Jack. Please take your seats. At this time, General Wilson will re-administer the oath of office.
So would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your full name.
I, Michele C. Edmondson,
Having been appointed a Major General, United States Air Force,
having been appointed a Major General in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely,
That I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
and that I will well and faithfully
And I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, General Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Michele Edmondson.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. At this time, Cadets Rose Rotello and Kate Kavanaugh will do the honor of unfurling the Major General Edmondson's new General Officer flag. Cadets, please come forward to unfurl the flag.
The Air Force authorizes individual flags to those who warrant them by virtue of their office. The use of flags to signify the presence of a general officer can be traced to the British Royal Navy, where an admiral or captain, when in uniform, displayed his flag on the bow of the ship for all official visits. The United States Air Force has incorporated the use of flags to signify the presence of a general officer. This flag will be present at all official military functions and will be visibly displayed in the tower of the Commandant of Cadets.
Thank you, Cadet Kavanaugh and Cadet Rotello. General Edmondson, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, I thought I was going to do good until I saw the video. And now I might need a lot more tissue. Senior Master Sergeant Price. First, let me start with thanking the team that put this together. Senior Master Sergeant Price, certainly USAFA protocol, but the entire team. I know you assembled a huge group, and I know it's a lot of work to do it in any time, any world, but to do it in the middle of a global pandemic, it was that much harder. So thank you to the whole team, and I know there's about 30 of you, but if we could give them all a round of applause to say thank you. And certainly, again, to welcome all of our distinguished visitors, thank you for taking the time to be here. General Loren, sir, it's always wonderful to have you. Thank you for being here. General Miller, thank you for being a confidant for me and someone I can always reach out to. Thank you for taking the time. General Silveria, Virginia. The tissue, Emily, the tissue. You know, there's nothing anybody can ask for more, thank you, Gina, than to be trusted by their boss and have a boss that lets them do their job. And that's who General Silveria has been for me. So sort of thank you for what you've done for me. And thank you for letting me be the commandant and making decisions and sticking by me and supporting me. Thank you, sir. And Virginia, thank you for being Virginia. And the levity that you bring this organization, the happiness, like Jacqueline, that you bring us every time we're together. Thank you for what you do for all of us. To the rest of the team, Linnell, my partner in everything that we do here, thank you, and Greg for being here. Jen, my other partner, we are quite the threesome. And if you know this, but Jen and I were baby captains together. We were interns together in the Pentagon. So to come back here and to be a teammate with Jen has just been a wonderful experience for the three of us. And Nate, I know he couldn't be here this afternoon, but much thanks to him. Otis, welcome to the family. Thank you for being here and joining us. Chief Sparks, thank you. Brian Hartless, you have a thankless job. Such a thankless job with the three of us and everything else that you do to support the installation. But we couldn't have a better Air Base Wing Commander on this installation, a better partner, a more even-keeled, calm leader in everything that we do. So Brian, I admire you more than you know for what you do. And Aaron, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your friendship with Dave. Life is good because the girls have each other for gymnastics and horseback riding, and it's been a wonderful experience for our children because of you. So thank you, Aaron. Gail, the sanity for all of us. Thank you for being here and being a part of this. There are a lot of other people out there in virtual land too. Tony Reardon was joining us today, sir. The fact that he would take time out of his crazy schedule and join us, I can't tell you what that meant to me to see that Mr. Reardon was going to be out there. And then there's lots of family out there too that we'll certainly say thanks to. And to the front office team, Chief and Coolhan, Mike, thank you for coming in for this and being a part of this today. And then we'll get through everybody else as we talk through this and kind of walk through the journey. So for me, you know, this is about people, and this is about family. You know, and when I think about family, and my dad tried so hard to be here, but I have another family that's been a part of my life my whole life. The Couches, literally, I've lived with him several times. When I was a small kid, when I was in high school, when I was a second lieutenant, I lived in their basement up in Rockrimmon, and they've been a part of my life my entire life. The Krimmels have been a part of my life my entire life, and they were quick to make friends with my CAG and share pictures of me as a 5-year-old at birthday parties, which my CAG has proudly put on display in their office. So thank you all for being here and being a part of this. And you know, there's a lot we could talk about. I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about the journey of our last 6 months. I don't want to walk you through my 28 years in the Air Force, but there are a few really, I think, big opportunities that I'll call them, that really had a huge impact on me that I really want to take a few minutes to say thank you to some people. And I would have told you it was the most challenging opportunity I'd had in my life at the time. And I think the result of that was building the strongest relationships, the closest friends, those people that were on the video. And while they were at the time the most challenging thing I'd ever done, I wouldn't trade it for the world because of the relationships that we built. So I'll start with the relationship with the vice chief. And sir, it goes back to my time at Vandenberg. There was a little cheating scandal in the nuclear enterprise. And so the vice chief, as the commander of Global Strike Command, came to see what was going on and to have a little tour and to get to know what we were doing out at Vandenberg. And that was my introduction to General Wilson. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever expect to get a phone call that said, the vice chief wants to interview you to be his exec. And when you get that phone call, you become overwhelmed very quickly with two emotions. One is, what an amazing opportunity. And the second is, why me? Why me? And so I went off to be his exec, and it was no doubt the most rewarding 14 months really of my career because I learned so much. So sir, thank you for everything that you did for me. Thank you for the opportunities you gave me, and thank you for being here, and I can't imagine doing this with anybody other than you. So thank you for everything. And to the Vice Chief's team, I know that I created a big burden on your life because you had to do all of this, so thank you. Thank you for doing that and being a part of it. So back to my time at Vandenberg, the cheating scandal in the nuclear enterprise, and a quest to change a culture. And in doing so, there were people that sat outside my door that carried me through, at the time, were some of the most difficult challenges I'd been through. And some of them were on that video. Paulette Taylor and Liz Neary and Scott Wright and some amazing squadron commanders where I really did become kind of fascinated by this culture that drives people to do things. And I think that made the next several experiences of culture incredibly intriguing for me. But it really was those people that sit outside your door that you count on to carry you through day in and day out that made that such an incredibly rewarding journey for me. And then from there, I got a phone call one day from General Rand, who I had also met at Vandenberg as the ATC commander, and he asked if I wanted to be a group commander again. And I said yes. And then I said where. And I should have said where before I said yes. But I was kind of committed, and he said BMT. And I said, but that hasn't been a shining example for the Air Force lately. And he said, I want you to go rebuild the trust at basic military training. And I said, well, that's a big decision. Can I have 24 hours to talk to Dave and see if this is something we're ready to take on? The most rewarding thing I've done in my life, probably up until now, is to be the commander of basic military training. And again, it was about the people. And again, it's about this passion I have to be around people and another opportunity to get to train and develop and be a part of people's lives. And again, it was the people that sat outside my door, like now Major Bethany Herring, that carried me through an incredibly difficult time. It was the MTIs, and 3 of them are here now. Master Sergeant Ivory, Master Sergeant Walsh, Master Sergeant Steinbeck isn't here, and then we added 2 more that we pulled straight out of Lackland, Master Sergeant Antonioli and Master Sergeant Cooley. The respect I gained for enlisted airmen and what they do as the backbone of our Air Force at BMT was no doubt a life-changing event for me. The leadership I saw in those MTIs that took on the challenge to change how we do training in our Air Force was unbelievable. And I learned more about leadership from those MTIs than I have learned my entire life. It was an incredible experience. And I'm so happy now to have you here as a part of this team. And then I had another amazing opportunity to go to Keesler. And a lot of the people that you saw on that video were from Keesler. All those people that sat out your door. And every time you do this, it seems to get to be a bigger team that you have sitting outside your door. From Stella Putt, from CJ Crooks, to Vicky Bobo, to Vegas Clark. How can you not like a chief whose name is Vegas? And that's his God-given name. It's Vegas. To Vegas, to the whole team. To Denny Scarborough. His son is here, yes. Denny comes from a legacy of this institution. His father was a grad. His father was killed in an F-16 accident. Denny, fighter pilot. His son Reed is here now. And when I heard I was going to Keesler and my vice was going to be a fighter pilot, I thought, I'm sure that can't work very well. The space guy and the fighter pilot. Denny came in my office every night before he went home. And he sat on the arm of my chair, or the arm of the sofa. And every night he asked me 2 questions. Is there anything I can do for you? And how are you doing? And he never went home without asking me those 2 questions. He's a phenomenal officer and leader and a legacy for this institution. And then there was C. Smith, who became the life and entertainment of our front office. And Raul, who will never forget the joy Raul brought to the team. And then incredible commanders. Janine Ryder, my med group commander. Susan Arola Scully. Kevin Bray, the deputy commander in the training group. People like Billy Pope. Steve Mullins. Incredible, talented, gifted leaders that really are the reason that I continue to wear this uniform and be here today. And then the phone call came. And I said, why me? And off I went to be the vice chief's exec. And when you sit in those glass doors as an exec, you have an open invitation to every meeting that the chief and the secretary have. And you sit with the chief and the secretary, and you get to listen to the most senior decision makers in our Air Force make decisions. Such a humbling opportunity to get to listen to those things and to be a part of those conversations, and occasionally to have your opinion asked in an environment like that. So, sir, it was incredibly rewarding. I'm eternally grateful for the opportunities you gave me. And then you kind of think once you do that for 14 months, 16 hours a day, your boss is going to take really good care of you, right, with your next job. So I was excited about the opportunities. There was a carrot dangled. It went something like, how would you like to live on the beach in Florida? And I said, that would be awesome. And he said, I think it's a done deal. You can tell the kids. So Cal Googled how far from Patrick to Disney World. And as life goes as a GO, that lasted about a week. And then he said, I need you to go to the White House. And I said, why me? And off I went to the White House. It might have been kicking and screaming. I thought, I'm not a White House kind of person. I'm not a policy kind of person. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know that I'm the right person to go to the White House. And the thing I think that was hardest about the White House and the National Security Council is you are an organization of one. And there weren't people. There wasn't that team. There weren't those relationships. And that was a struggle for me. It was different. And to be a non-political person in an incredibly political world, and that doesn't matter who sits in the West Wing, every administration is that way, that was difficult to navigate. To be keenly aware of the politics and the environment that you live in and operate in, but to never be a part of that political environment was a struggle. And then there just weren't the people. And, you know, my daily life went something like this. Answering the phone. Hello, this is National Security Council. This is Michelle. And someone would inevitably say, I'm looking for General Edmondson's exec. And I would say, that's me. And then the next call would come, hello, this is National Security Council. This is Michelle. I'm looking for General Edmondson's executive assistant. And I would say, that's me. Can I help you? And the next one comes, I need to schedule a room in the Situation Room. Who can help me? Well, that would be me. I need access to the White House. That would be me. And it was a very lonely existence, and it was a struggle. But there were phenomenal opportunities. that even though I will complain about all of the other things, that I absolutely wouldn't trade for the world. Cal had his 14th birthday in the White House bowling alley. While Cal doesn't think that's the most amazing thing, his mother thinks that's pretty amazing that we had his birthday in the White House bowling alley. I could look out my window and see Marine One land on the south lawn all day long. It was a pretty amazing opportunity. To sit in the meetings that I got to sit in with the vice president and the vice president, to know you by name, and in scheduling those meetings in the situation room, just to be present and be there and to have that experience was so incredibly rewarding. So, sir, I'm not sure I've ever acted very grateful about that, but thank you. Thank you for that opportunity. And then to come to USAFA and to get back with the people, to get back to what I'm really passionate about, is being a part of training and developing, motivating and inspiring, and giving back to the next generation. And I continue to tell the cadets this, that if I can make a difference in just one person's life every day, I'll continue to put this uniform on. And the opportunities that we have had together within the cadet wing have been incredibly rewarding. They've been incredibly challenging. I showed up last summer and we took on a lot. We took on basic training. We took on recognition. We took on the academic year training. But I had people like Doc Brewster and Rusty and Rick and Val and Ryan, an incredible team, Veronica Sunshine, an incredible team downstairs that took it all. And the progress we had made up until last February was unbelievable. And everyone told me we couldn't do it. And you did it. And I couldn't be more proud of what you all did for this institution. And then COVID hit. And here's the part where it's going to get really hard. The journey we have had over the last 6 months have been the hardest of my life. What the cadet wing has done, the AMTs, the AOCs, the staff in the tower, and 4,400 cadets to get us here has been unbelievable. So we sent them home in March. We sent the lower three home. And we kept the seniors. And we figured out how to navigate living in COVID with the senior class. DF turned the institution upside down to become a virtual learning institution. CW figured out how to get them through, how to graduate in a record amount of time and get them out the door. And it was a Herculean lift to get that far. And then some stayed. And I found myself without a cadet wing commander. And Kate, you stand up, Kate. Kate raised her hand and she said, I'll do it. She said, I'll take it on. Thanks, Kate. And she did. And Kate figured out how to live in a COVID world and still go to school and keep the mission going. Kate and the team, Rage, Pearl, Rage is up there hiding, Master Sergeant Sarah, they figured out how to make it work and built the foundation for everybody. In the meantime, Rose, please stand up, Rose, and Mike Robles. Rose was the 2B Cadet Wing Commander and had gone home. Mike was the 2B Basic Cadet Training Commander and had gone home. And the two of them worked tirelessly to figure out how we were going to do it. Thanks, guys. And they did. And Rose and I had countless conversations. Rose, this is going to be different. This is not going to be like whatever any other cadet wing commander has ever done. Rose, you're going to need a different kind of team. Rose, talk to Kate. She's going to tell you how different it is. And Rose came back, and we had so many conversations, and we thought we knew what we were doing. And I went to, Chief and I went over to the dorm to visit Rose in ROM, right? They're all in quarantine. And Rose, Kylie, Jordan, George, their eyes were like saucers. And they said, we couldn't have imagined what this was going to be like. So Rose took what Kate had done, and Rose built on that. How do you ROM cadets for 14 days? ROM Phase 1 and ROM Phase 2 in tan t-shirts, the beloved sand t-shirts of every cadet in the cadet wing. Countless versions of ROEs to follow CDC guidance. How do we bring FSS kind of things to support the cadets, and Rose found I needed more. And we looked to Ruby and Sam and Devin, who all raised their hand and said, we can do this. And then we brought in the class of 24. And I think General Silveria and I would have told you back in April we didn't think we could do it. But Ivan Stoley and his team figured out how to do it. And I would say not only did we do it, we did it incredibly well. But everything looked different. Dean Mills I-Day, cohorts, 2 trips to Jacks Valley, 4 times back and forth. Flight meetings, squadron meetings, with cadets living in quarantine and isolation on a laptop computer in the hallway that one of their squadron mates was holding for them. It looked different, but you did it. So by the end of June, we had 3,000 cadets back. By the end of July, we brought the final 1,400 back. And somehow we figured out how to put the wing back together and how to get them all back in the dorms. And people like Amy Rivera and Blitz, who I stole from Linnell, Tony Mirhar, the migraine the puzzle caused, we're trying to figure out how to put them all back in, how to establish a Q&I area in a dorm, how to finish basic training at the same time and not mix the populations, and then how to stand up 2 different hotels and have opposite hotels. It was unbelievable what this cadet wing took on. And we did it. And the nation watched. We were the first for graduation. We were the first to bring in the basic cadet training class. And we were the first to bring them all back, before West Point and before Annapolis. And I contend, without the AOCs, they're sitting in this room, the AMTs, people like Rottinghouse, Ivan Stoley, Kevin Bray, Kelly Sams, Amy Rivera, we wouldn't have gotten here. And I'd be lying if I told you it wasn't the hardest thing I've ever done. And every night you turn on the news, and some other university is sending them home. But we are not. We're not. We have a plan, we have processes, and it's amazing how far we've come. And so then I turn to people like Ari Brown, who has taken on the challenge of being the fall wing commander. And I contend that the secret sauce, sir, is I have someone like Ari Brown and Teresa Kozak and Brendan Rikiki and Allison Lane that are leading the cadet wing to make sure that we can do this right. So thank you for your leadership, guys. Thank you for what you're doing. And then there's the team in the front office that gets me through every single day. And even though this has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, we enjoy it. We have fun together. And they're the ones that carry me. So it's Sue. Sue is the happiest person you've ever met. You can't help but be happy in our front office. And Scott. I've lost Scott somewhere in here. And Scott. And Coolhan and Mark. Brad Davies. Poor guy. He's got to spend 6 hours a day with me and trying to figure out how to figure this out. And the chief and Cassie, Steve, who keeps the organization running behind the scenes, and my incredible CAG with the most phenomenal amount of energy, and Katie and CJ, and then Senior Master Sergeant Price, who's moved up to the 6th floor, who also brings Sue-like energy to everything that we do. And Mike Batista, the most incredible IMA, who wanders in the door every couple of weeks and brings just a calmness to the whole team. And I couldn't be more fortunate, Mike, to have you. So thank you for what you do for me. So the journey's been phenomenal. And I think all of us, Linnell, Jen, Sir, Otis, Gail, Brian, Chief, I don't think we thought we would be where we are when this started back in March. And the resiliency that the cadet wing has shown has been phenomenal. And I wish that we could have done this with the entire cadet wing, but I asked the cadets that are here to be here because they played such an instrumental role in putting this institution back together. So can I ask all of the cadets that are here to stand so we can say thank you? Thanks, guys. So I know there's lots of people out there in the virtual world. I need to say thank you to my family. My dad tried to get here and found himself in airports without planes in bad weather. So Dad, I'm sorry you're not here. We miss you, the kids miss you, and thank you for what you have done to get me here. To the kids and Dave, what General Wilson said is true. This has been an evolution over many, many years. It started with Squadron Command, and he started teleworking, and I started saying, can you not do a load of laundry occasionally while you're home? And then it evolved with Group Command to, could you fold the laundry while you're at home? Wing Command, I think it became, maybe we could vacuum occasionally, maybe cook. And at this point, it's all Dave. He works full-time, he builds rockets for a living, but it's all Dave. And they are busy kids. There's a sporting event every night of the week. So thank you. And to Cal and Jack, as General Wilson said, I couldn't be more proud of who you are. They're brilliant kids. I am so lucky because I've never in my life had to help them with homework, and I don't know what I would do or where I would find the time if they did. So I am truly blessed to have two such brilliant, amazing children, both incredible athletes. Your mom is incredibly proud of you. And Cal is grimacing at his sister when I said they're both good athletes. So that is the world that I live in. But thank you for everything that you do and all the moves that you've endured. I love you. Hey, Cadet Baumier, how's that virtual stream going? Fantastic, man. So Cadet Baumier mastered the virtual streaming when we did the exemplar dedication for the class of 23, which included a video from General Hyten. What most people don't know about Cadet Baumier is this is the third time Cadet Baumier has worked for me. He went through Lackland when I was the BMT commander. He came to Keesler and went through tech school. And then he shows up here, and I'm his commandant. So to you and the team that did all of this, thank you. Again, to the front office team, to Rebecca, the front office team that has moved downstairs temporarily on her way out the door. It's been an incredible journey. I wouldn't be here without all of you and everything that you have done for me. So, Team USAFA, it's been a wild ride. We have a long way to go, I know, but it's great to be able to take a breath and soak it in and share with you this today. So, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, and we have great cookies and some champagne, I think, over there. So, I look forward to that. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, General Edmondson. Ladies and gentlemen, following this ceremony, there will be an additional special ceremony taking place at 17:30 hours. If you'd like to observe, please join us in the honor court to view the detail from the honor wall.
And now, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Our Cadet Wing Group AOCs are going to lead us in singing the Air Force song, so sing it like you mean it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. As a reminder, we will have a COVID-compliant receiving line following this ceremony. Please exit out of the northeast door towards the patio area behind the projector. General Edmondson and her family will send you home today with personal refreshments. They sincerely thank you for joining in to celebrate this momentous occasion.